You think that you've come here and you've got an MBA and you're going to go out in the world and you're going to rock and you're going to be incredibly successful. I've got news for you. For 2/3 of you, the world is going to chew you up and spit you out. You have no idea what's going to happen to you. You are so irrelevant. You have proven nothing. You've done nothing. You think an MBA means something? It's worthless. Your experiences make you who you are over time as an entrepreneur, as a parent, as a person, as whatever you are, as a brand, whatever you are. It's your experiences and how you deal with them that gives you that equity over time. And for many people, they can't make it. It doesn't work out for them. They don't have what it takes to take on the abuse that the world's going to throw at you. You know, I've learned a lot from the CEOs I've invested in over the years, and there was a woman a few years ago, it's more, probably 10 years ago now, and she said to me something really interesting. I asked her why she was so successful, because she was. She said, I do something very ordinary and almost boring, but I do it every day. She takes a sticky note and she writes 3 things she has to get done before she texts, answers any calls, or does anything else. Just 3 things. And she sticks it on the mirror where she puts her makeup on. It's incredibly powerful. I tell people to try it. Most people who try it get stuck on it and they stick with it. It's really, because in life there's so much noise coming at you, and every year more noise and all kinds of different distractions. And you always say to yourself, well, I can multitask. But you deemed that thing to be very important and you ignored it. Now it's 3 in the afternoon, you're exhausted, or you're busy with other stuff and you say, oh shit, I didn't get that done. And it's whatever the effects, the domino effects are, they're going to hurt you. And that's why I tell people, try it out. It's a really great tool. It doesn't have to be business things. It can be whatever it is that are deemed to be important to get done the next day. Maybe it's something that's a holdover from the day before, because I've been doing this now for years, and it's really effective. This isn't tech. You're not putting it in your phone. It's not a software program. It's a piece of paper and you have it, right when you're going to bed, brushing your teeth, whatever, you write those 3 things down, you stick it on the mirror. I do it every night. And then I am myopically focused to get those 3 things done. I don't do anything
Before you
else.
text, before you check your email.
Before I do anything else, I nail those 3 things. You cannot believe how productive you get when that happens, because you don't let the distractions of all the other crap that's happening around you. I just don't do it until I get the 3 things done. When I was, I wanted to be a photographer or a musician, a rock star. When I was, when I got out of high school, and my stepdad said to me, you're not good enough at either of those, you'll starve to death. If I were you, I would go get any kind of a degree and focus on business, which is what I did. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I learned some stuff. I ended up going into postgraduate. I went and got an MBA, which was, at that time, was a 2-year program, which, we can talk about the merits of that or not, because I've come to realize what it was worth and what it wasn't worth. I remember on the last week, the graduating class, and in those, it's sort of like an amphitheater with about 100 people in it, and you've been there for 2 years, you got your little nameplate in front, and they bring in guest lecturers to talk to you before you jump into the real world. And this guy comes in, and he says, I'll never forget it. He walks up, the professor hands him the floor, and he just goes in the middle and just looks up at everybody. For maybe it felt like forever. But it was really maybe 60 seconds. Didn't say a word. Then he says, you guys think you're so hot. You think that you've come here and you've got an MBA and you're going to go out in the world and you're going to rock and you're going to be incredibly successful. I've got news for you. For 2/3 of you, the world is going to chew you up and spit you out. You have no idea what's going to happen to you. You are so irrelevant. You have proven nothing. You've done nothing. You think an MBA means something? It's worthless. And I remember the guy beside me, he'd been beside me for 2 years. We were up in the 1 row down from the top, so we could chat all the time.
Hide a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And so I said to him, Barry was his name. I said, Barry, this guy is such a, what an he is. What an arrogant he is. Well, guess what? He was right. He was 100% right. Your experiences make you who you are over time as an entrepreneur, as a parent, as a person, as whatever you are, as a brand, whatever you are. It's your experiences and how you deal with them that gives you that equity over time. And for many people, they can't make it. It doesn't work out for them. They don't have what it takes to take on the abuse that the world's going to throw at you. I got caught saying the same thing a couple of months ago at the Harvard MBA group. I realized I was saying the same thing that guy said to me decades ago. I said to these kids, you're all think you're hot. You're Harvard MBAs. You are nothing burgers. You are nothing. And so there you have it. What he really explained was the idea of experience and how you have to listen to your gut to navigate the bombs of your career. And you have to trust it. You have to trust your gut. Every time I've lost dough, every time, and I've lost plenty, luckily I've had more successes than failures, is when I didn't listen to my gut, which is my experience. It was great information, but I couldn't assimilate it because I couldn't put it in context. Now I understand it. So number 2 is you need to build that experience and all the way through, listen to your gut. Even when you're young, your gut will tell you. You'll know when it's right and wrong, and don't go against your intuition. That is actually your radar. That's your DNA speaking to you, figuring out what the next move's going to be. Well, you know, you have to make time in your life for your significant other and your family, and it's very hard to do. It's extremely hard to do because this is really speaking more to the entrepreneurial community out there, which is basically a third of people. 1/3 will attempt to take the entrepreneurial journey. It's not a destination, it's a journey, and the challenges of that are very, very difficult. And I learned this the hard way. And again, I'm going to go to a story of a class that I taught years ago, an evening class. This really sums it up. It tells you how important this is. 3-hour class, 6 to 9. We're almost closing. You know how 10 minutes left. This guy hadn't said a word the whole class. And he finally puts up his hand and he says, listen, Mr. Wonderful, I have a question for you. It's not about the case. What's the case we're doing? I need some advice. I said, okay, you know, you really haven't participated at all. I was kind of a little condescending because I know you kind of know who's engaged in the class, even though it was a huge cohort. I think it was something like 300, 400. I can't remember. It was a lot of people. The point is, picking that partner is the third thing you either do right or you do wrong. Divorce is incredibly stressful. Many people try it 3-4 times. They're not in sync with their partner. I'm just, you know, this is kind of like a little Dr. Phil-ish in some ways, but I'm telling you, with the CEOs I work with and all the investors I work with, I see stress in people when their relationships are falling apart, and it's devastating. So there's a story, those are the 3 things I care about in giving guidance, and I think everybody knows what I'm talking about and should think about these.